Oh, that reminds me. I need another. Drink, I mean. Thank you. Start that music, monkey man. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Todd Sampler. For without your head, I am Todd Quality Jaeger, along with my critically acclaimed beard, and of course, always and forever, Cheesecake Man. Cheesecake. Today's t-shirt, well, this is a good one. El Dorado, Domitiano Cristoforo's amazing film, of which, guess what? Yours truly, Todd Quality Jaeger, is the voice of the worshiper, or the narrator, whichever you prefer. And also when the guy speaks throughout the film on camera.
Don't you know him?
So I'm very proud of that. I had to plug it. And of course, there it is right there. Released now on DVD, along with Domitiano's other epic, La Perdición. You gotta see them both. Anyway, today, I am very happy to discuss
Wheel of Heaven
from director Joe Badon. That's how I'm going to pronounce it from now on, because I Googled pronunciations and it's like a French thing. So it's going to be Badon. Okay, Joe? He's also the gentleman who brought you the amazing Sister Tempest, which, if you've seen this one, oh man, you know you're going to get something amazing with the Wheel of Heaven. So I might as well stop the review now because I loved it so much. No, I'm going to go on. So I saw the festival cut, which I'm not sure how different that might be from the version that will be out there regularly, but I'm pretty sure it's all good. Now, here's the gist of it. A woman caught up in predatory relationships is thrown into a multi-layered world of choices after she discovers a mystical book in a thrift store. Sound simple? This is one of those movies that goes round and layers and inside and back and oh wow. The main actress, Kali Russell, is Purity. That's her name. But is she a gal who, on a lonely road in the night, comes across another version of herself as Santa? Or is she Marge Korn? A gal working in a shop reading a choose-your-own-adventure novel? Is she captain of a spaceship who sings to her mother, who is in another shop, while another version of Callie is a customer? She's all of these. Callie pulls double, triple duty in this film, and it must have been a feat to keep the right tone and personality of each character. It reminds me of how Sam Neill had color tabbed his script for Possession in 1981 to maintain continuity of his moods and escalating madness throughout the film. Of course, the whole cast is outstanding, and in particular, Jeff Pearson as Mr. Universe, and Vincent Stalba as Uncle Bobo. Hello?
I'll take it from here. Bye. Wheel of Heaven is its own original creature, but it brought to mind why I love things like Too Many Cooks, Tim and Eric, Quentin Dupieux, and more, with Laurie Anderson-esque dialogue delivery. It's really that great. And it's incredibly intelligent. And by the end of it, I was blown away at how it all came together and was very logical in its own way. And those wigs, like in the series UFO on the moon base, put such a smile on my face, giving me such an acid flashback. Oh, thank you. What is this? Huh.
Okay, there are credits in numerous places throughout the entire film. You really don't know where or when Wheel of Heaven will end. Every second, every moment, every flash, it's all concise and exact. Badon's mind is brilliant. No ordinary person can think out a story like this and keep all the parts where they need to be. The continuity must have been mind-blowing. I'm just so impressed by this because I had to watch it again and a third time to grasp everything. And then I started thinking about the complexities and how he kept track of everything. It's so mwah. Now, if you love the complexities of filmmakers like Jodorowsky, Zulawski, Skolimowski, and even some Lynch and Astor, this will please you. But really, I understood this film more than some of those other films. And this one is goddamn complex.
While there are numerous credits displayed throughout Wheel of Heaven, I was particularly fond of at the 58-minute mark, where the actor was experiencing all these spasms or withdrawal, taking off his clothes in a freak out that I just adored. Oh, thank you. Another one. Yeah. Oh. What the hell? There's another one. What is this? Anyway. Oh! I'm Todd Jaeger, master gynecologist. Got a fat vagina? Get Vagiline!
You really need to give this film multiple viewings. It's enjoyable on each viewing as well because there are so many brilliant touches in it. You need to let it all sink into every nook and cranny of your brain. It's just that astounding. For instance, there's a scene where they're in the woods and just, oh, I wish I had a flashlight. And then the other person says, oh, here's one. It just happens to be a flashlight right there on the ground in the woods. Yet it just seemed to make sense. The cosmic hour of healing power. Now, I would just love to be a guest on that show. Then, of course, there's Uncle Bobo, whom I'm slightly attracted to. Oh, he happens to be in this issue of Honcho.
This movie climbs up your arm and your shoulder and jumps into your mouth and is absorbed into your very essence and inside your pores, in through your veins, and all throughout all of your brains. And then you scream and you choke and you begin to mutate. Your face and your hands are no longer your own. It is now the mind and the face of you while you are reborn.
Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich?
Yes, I would. Hello?
Do you want a sandwich?
Oh. Yeah. Yes. Where is the door?
Do you want a sandwich?
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Do you want a sandwich?
Stop it.
Do you want a sandwich?
Who are you?
Do you want a sandwich?
Yes! Yes!
Do you want a sandwich?
For Christ's sakes. Yes! Stop torturing me.
Do you want a sandwich?
Yes! Yes, I want a sandwich. Okay. All right.
want a sandwich?
Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a sandwich?
Braunschweiger.
Do you want a drink?
Todd, this could be us, but you keep finding the Quaaludes I put in your drinks. Here, try this. Cheesecake Man. Cheesecake.
There is a scene in the, is it the mother or the grandmother now? My brain's, okay. There's a scene in that shop, and a version of Kali comes into the shop and buys something, and it's only a penny. So the woman, there's this exchange back and forth so that money keeps getting handed back and forth, so it comes down to so she can have the proper change. It's just astounding. It reminds me of when I was back in college and I worked at Noggles, which is now Del Taco. And I worked at one in St. Louis that used to be a gas station. It was a Shell station. And we called it the Judson's house. Here's why. So a guy came in to buy a soda. It was like, I don't know, I can't remember back then, but let's just say it was around $1.10 or something. And he hands me $100 bill. Now, I'm a smart employee. I take the 100, and he's talking, and he's trying to, keep it going and distracted me. And I put the 100 down in front of me. I start counting out the change, and I didn't hand it to him yet, but he's like reaching for it. And then he goes, I remember I have this $10 bill. So he wanted me to hand him the change out of the 100, give me the 10, and then I make more change. Or just take the, you know what I mean? It's just, I didn't fall for that shit. So he was very disappointed. The look on his face, I could just tell. He left and he headed up the street. I ran to the phone, called the Long John Silver's that was up the street, and I told them about this guy that was about to come in and was going to pull that shit on him. And, yeah, that's okay. I'm not religious, but he'll burn in hell. So, also, when I worked at Noggles and I was on the drive-thru, I pressed the button and I said, "Hi, may I hold you?" The guy was like, macho taco. So I guess he didn't hear me right. But oh my God, what happened with that? When I worked at Burger King in the 1970s and we had the microphones next to the registers, I remember, people told you what they wanted and you called it out. Oh, you called it out on the microphone. And he said 2 hamburgers. And I went, 2 hamsters? I could hear the whole dining room laughing. And one time for a veal parmesan, I said, a wheel of heaven. I gotta say, when I first saw the vintage teal kitchen set for Uncle Bavo. The Wheel of Heaven won me over. That was such a great moment, and it took me back to when I was young and all those retro things that are so cool now. There's an interconnectedness, not only within the film, but an interconnectedness to me as a viewer immersed in the experience. There's nothing quite like it. And that's another reason why I really admire this film. When I mentioned some of those other filmmakers earlier, like Jodorowsky and Zulawski and Skolimowski and all them, well, that's because Wheel of Heaven, while a little more humorous, still very incredibly dark. It, hang on a second. My mustache hairs tend to go in another direction sometimes, and I have to do this. So now you know what the deal. Well, I'm doing my Chrissy Snow. God. Okay, good fun, right? Good times. Filmmakers again. So these films kind of fall into this bizarre realm that I love. Of course, you have Joe Badon's other film, Sister Tempest, which is just astoundingly good. And my life was very much enhanced by viewing this one. And then, of course, you got your Jodorowsky. Brilliant mind. Still can't figure out some of the stuff in his films, but who cares? And Zulawski's Possession, speaking of, which I mentioned about Sam Neill earlier in this one. A lot of people can't make it through this one. If you make it through this one, you are a super person. But it's a great film. It's a masterpiece. Yes. And then, of course, there is Skolimowski's The Shout with Alan Bates, Susanna York, Tim Curry. Yeah. Oh, Brain Dead with Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton, Bud Cort. This is like Wheel of Heaven, comes round in itself, comes back around. Wow. This one is a mind blower, and it's one of my all-time favorite films. And yes, speaking of waking nightmares, Astor's Beau is Afraid. This film captured how my dreams are exactly, especially those first 15 minutes. Holy shit. Although, Astor, you should have had me as the naked bearded guy running around in the street. I would have gladly have done that. It's my goal to be naked in more movies than Martin W. Payne. Friend of mine, he was in my short film, This Is How. You got more Chrissy Snow there. Craig Collins. Callistra zipper story. Oh my God. This thing, there's a shorter festival cut running around, but this is the full version. You've got to get your hands on this. See it any way you can. The way he pulled one over on Howard Stern is simply genius. Love you. Love you. Anything by Gabe Bartalos. You got Saint Bernard and Skinned Deep. Both of these, you're just sitting there going through the whole thing, but you're loving it. You are loving it. And then down here, is that Jeff Daniels? It sure is. Chasing Sleep. For those of you who know, you know. This film will fuck you up. And then, of course, dear to my heart, Thundercrack. Again, those who know. And it was so worth the wait. It was like, what, 5.5 years before Synapse was able to get this thing completely restored. And it is just, I just orgasm every time I watch it. Literally, because there's hardcore sex in it. I am just going to proclaim that The Wheel of Heaven is one of the most astounding pieces of cinema you will ever dip your eyes into and get them permanently stained with its gloriousness. Thank you, Joe Badon. I'm not good at being French. He's not French. But, I just said I was going to keep doing that. Anyway, I really enjoyed this movie so much. And I hope y'all get a chance to see it. It's one of the most delightful pieces of dark cinema, film. What do you want to call it? Well, it's just the best. So, you've been watching the Todd Sampler for Without Your Head. I am Todd Quality Jaeger with my wonderful beard. Oh, I'm not wearing any pants, by the way. The t-shirt, you must get your own. You can. El Dorado, the film from Domiziano Cristoforo. And say it. Say it. Cheesecake, man. Cheesecake. Start that music, monkey man! Stop that music, monkey man! Here's some extra stuff. And action. Okay, here we go. You got the giggles now?
Get it. Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right. Do we need a timeout?
It's all right. Yeah, get up for a second.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know.
Here, I'll stop it.
Todd, he's so much fun. I love doing these. I really do, because you make me laugh, and sometimes
Well,
I
you've
don't
seen
laugh
the
a lot.
ones we did.
Yeah.
Did you really watch Dress to Kill
Oh my
2024?
God! Million
That one
times.
I got private
Really?
messages on video
Really?
about it. Yeah, you were a hit.
I think Steve needs to move back to the other
No, that's fine. If he doesn't mind being seen, him drinking like that's hysterical.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's funny. If you want to be sitting there sipping the shot while I'm dead, the pool, that's
Unless
great.
he doesn't turn around because he's naked.
Oh, no, you can't see anything. All you can,
yeah.
from here, all,
That's perfect. Yeah.
no, actually, yeah, if you came in a little closer and you want to be seen, that's up to you, but it's kind of funny.
having you drink.
But if he turns around, he's naked.
Well, if you're sideways.
Oh, okay.
Because
Sideways,
if you're facing the camera, they might see your dick.
It's tucked away pretty well.
Okay.
Like that, you're perfect. Can you?
That is funny. Okay, so what am I doing? Am I turning it
Well,
on?
because if he wants to, you can float in a little closer to me.
If he really wants
If you want to do it. It's
I'll wait until you.
okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be, as soon as I go flat, you can start prodding, and I'll try to hold my breath for like 10, 15 seconds.
Okay.
And you can kind of start pulling me if you want.
Is the camera rolling? So we
I like that. You're just like, so, all right. So I'm going to be right about here. So if you do want to float, just kind of sideways, like you don't care, you're drinking. Okay, so you can come in a little closer.
sideways. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. And I mean even closer, because I'm going to be like right here. So you got all this area right here. You can be floating around, just sipping your drink. Yeah, while he's prodding. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. As soon as I give me like 1 second so that I'm not like,
Okay.
and then just start, but not prod. Just do it kind of like gently.
Sure.
Okay, so here we go. You ready? Here, let me get right here. And, okay, so here we go.
That should have worked. I wasn't.
I tried. It's hard holding your breath.
Is that? That's what you wanted me to do?
I'll go take a look and see
Just
how
like softly prodding. Okay.